Beautiful people. So, I'm up in the gods, so to speak. Highest part of the house, there's two of these areas, and they're fabulous. Um, and I wanted to come up here because I wanted to sort of survey the jungle and the mango orchard. It's very difficult to work out where to sit to light things so that you can kind of bring cards in and be seen, keeping the computer in the shade so it doesn't overheat, and me not sweating too much. I've given up on that. It's humid. So last night I was sitting outside on a wall just outside my bedroom, which is on the first floor, and this is the second floor, and as I looked down to pick up my phone, I suddenly realised that the whole wall was swarming with army ants. And they're big and they bite, but for some reason they weren't on me. They weren't touching me at all. So I got up and I thought, oh, I'm going to have a shower in case they're inside my clothes. So I had a shower, and when I came out, they'd found a way into my room, and they were all coming down the wall from the window. And so we dealt with them, and I put some Palo Santo on the part where they were coming in, and then they stopped coming. Because when the army ants start, they just keep coming for about an hour, and if they can't find something to eat, then they clear off. But one of them bit me on the toe, and it's like a tiny pinprick, but it hurts, it smarts for a bit. And also, this is a jungle, you know, this is where critters come and they want to eat you or something. But there's also, there's a lovely spider there. There's also jaguars here. There's a big albino boa constrictor that's been seen only a couple of times in 20 years, but it's around sometimes apparently. But there's also a lot of spirits, fairies. I don't know the name that they should be given in Mexico. There's also a lot of walking shadows, shades that pass by. It's very alive spiritually. So it's more than just the scorpions. And I feel like I'm living in the shamanic oracle deck. It's a bit like Jumanji. And I feel like if I throw the cards, it's almost like rolling the dice and seeing what comes. But I'm willing to dare and see what messages we get. I don't know what they'll be. It will be interesting. So let's do Neptune's bells just to bring some cleansing. Because everything in this wonderful house is rounded, there's nothing straight. When you're in rooms and you use your voice, the rooms kind of roll and unfold and envelop you in the acoustic. It's really amazing, it's really fascinating. And the bells, even though these are open spaces, the energy of the bells unfolded with each one. So something's unfolding. I have no idea what. But obviously, let's dive in, dare I, to the shamanic oracle deck and see just what wants to message us. Because there's so much. I was going to try and do a reading at night, because in the daytime it's very, very peaceful. You get the odd breeze, but there's something about the night and the whole volume. Everything is nocturnal, and the whole jungle begins to scream with energy. So, including army ants. So, oh, there's a card just slid down my arm. Let's just go with the one card. Heart of the Sky. This is consciousness. This is a shift in consciousness, a kind of an unveiling of something within the moon. You can see the moon just here, and it has a little kind of navy blue net on it. This is also relevant because the heart of the sky for me is the galactic center of the universe, and this is the veil through which our consciousness comes. It's a 2 and a 4. It's like an energy of balance, but look, we always talk about these things and we add them up and we say it's a balance, but it's an imbalance, seeking balance, because it's a 2 and a 4. Something from that side's got to come onto here to reach 3 and 3 to make the balance in the 6. So something is out of balance in consciousness, whether that's here, whether it's me, whether it's you. The message will presumably unfold. So, taking the larger tall Thoth, and I've got Titchy Thoth as well. I'm not using my cards because there's a little bit of a wind, and because they're only on index cards, they tend to drift. And I thought it would be quite nice to just do this reading with some traditional decks. There's one card and it's landed face down on Heart of Sky, and there's a second. There's something about the energy of consciousness in the land somehow not quite being fixed. We have healing and abundance. I mean, beautiful energies. Healing is the star, which is the energy of Aquarius, tempering the frequencies from reaching up to this cosmic frequency and bringing that energy down. I'm just kind of looking around the edge. There's something where this is not, yes, it is the star, but there's something about the energy on this that's more about the moon. The star's energy is up here. It's on this pink body that's like a pink moon. And then the energy is within the frequency of, I want to say, like the cosmic waters that are raining down, but the waters somehow have to pass through our consciousness into our crown. We have to almost bathe. I kind of want to say moon gazing. There's something about moon gazing that reminds me of the Mad March Hare, the madness. There's something. It's not disconcerting. There's something unhinged, maybe. There's something that's coming from the moon, and it could be the full moon that's coming up. But there's something about how this energy has to pass through us to heal us. And she's reaching up with her now hand, and she's bringing that energy through her body and out of the past to soothe something in the past, to sort of create a third cup. That's the energy that I'm being told. That the frequency of consciousness is transforming. It's filling a consciousness cup which is pouring consciousness down into the earth, filling the land with a healing frequency, a renewed energy. Maybe these consciousness waters there's something about them being part of a cosmic serpent, and how this energy is coming down to sort of water the land, but there's something about it that's like an agreeable odor that will tempt the earth to respond in some way. So now I'm going to take Titchy Thoth and put a couple of Titchy Thoth on top of those. So, yeah, these are like the response. So they're suddenly all earthen colours. So we've gone from this frequency of midnight blues, these sort of wonderful dusk colours, bringing down an energy of, they're kind of showing me with this the notion of Isis and Osiris creating a new frequency through their combined efforts. And here again, you see, that's why it's on this card. The earth must receive the waters of the cosmic consciousness to bring about the energy of the child, the new child. And this is reminding me of Taurian energy. This is reminding me of something that's coming towards the end of April. The Prince of Discs, the slow moving, certain pace, is bringing, I guess, I want to say the child, but the child feels very much like it's us. It's bringing the renewed frequency of some kind of transformative consciousness that passes through us and connects us to the earth in a new energy. And then we have temperance. And temperance and the star, traditionally temperance has 2 cups, the star has 2 cups. These are moments of incredible healing and transformation that take place after trauma. But the trauma is not visual. The trauma is almost irrelevant. The trauma is something that doesn't seemingly need to be released because it's being tempered. It's like it's birthing the age of Horus, the Aeon, the third age of man. But there's something about it that's so I want to say gentle, but it's not just that it's gentle, it's almost irreverent. It's almost like all of these things that we hold so dear that belonged to the age of Osiris that we've been in. Prior to that, it was the age of Isis, and now we're coming to the age of Horus, which is a kind of passing wink at the age of Aquarius. It can have many names, but it's a new frequency. To me, it's this kind of energy of a renewed air epoch, but it's the first air epoch that's truly in a kind of Aquarian age, and this is a card that represents Aquarius. And that's about, in alchemy, multiplying the energy of things. It's interesting, I kind of want to pull my decks I haven't done a reading without my decks for a while, and I love the messages. It's almost a little bit more like pulling teeth for me, which I know all about since I've pulled most of my own teeth out as they've gone wobbly. But there's something, there's just something that's a little bit more closed off channel-wise, working with these decks. I love these decks. Beloved Pachamama. So, Jumanjics. Oh, I've got a lot of sweat coming down me, people. Would you like to give us another message? There's another single card. It's interesting. I did a reading last night with the family I'm staying with, and Heart of the Sky came out and the Lower World came out. There's something about the 3 and the 1 here in that same way, but it's saying that you borrow here from the second digit and bring it to the first digit. You borrow here from the second digit, bring it to the first digit, and it brings us to a 4. But it means we're just one step away from almost losing a connection to the lower world as was. Like there's something being switched off, snuffed out briefly. Like you snuff out a candle and you trim the wick and you can relight it. Wind's picking up. So, what would you like to add? What would you like to add? What would you like to add? I'm not taking the Emperor because it didn't fall. Princess of Swords, Ninlil. She who draws heaven and earth back together. She's almost the energy embodied within our physical that's working with the star frequency to bring something in, to call in an energy. That's really strange, but for the first time ever, they're showing me her movement in the opposite. She's not drawing in, she's rising out. So rather than her pulling the heaven in, here she's coming from the earth, she's rising from within the earth, and she's pulling up the energy of the earth to reach up towards Heart of Sky. So this is, I can't work out, we'll have to ask cards whether this is her bringing about the last hurrah of the lower world, or whether it's the point past which the lower world switches off briefly, closes down, and then switches back on in a new frequency. So let's have a little look. I can hear geese. Wah, wah, wah. So, first card out, Sovereignty. Each to their own it's like we all have to find our sovereign connection to the natural world, to Pentacles, to the real world. We have to find that within us. So they're showing me the blue and the pink of this card coming out here in the middle of the heart, like there's some kind of new energetic frequency switching on within us, and it's followed by the 3 of Pentacles, which is the 12. So It's like we're coming towards a static moment. I'm feeling this has got very much to do with solstice. 21/12 2021. So this is source energy. This is the Tesla code. This is like some kind of new energy that floods in. Again, it's almost like when I spoke about the energy of the cosmos coming down as like waters and it rolling into the earth, this is like it bubbling back from within the earth with this energy of Ninlil rising, and it's coming with the same thing. The age grows. This is the point at which the new age of Horus is growing in frequency. It's becoming something new. And what I'm hearing is, because around this card you have the 4 animals that represent the 4 gospel writers, that they're saying this is the gospel truth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 rays from the top of the head. There's so much symbolism hidden inside this card. These 3 aspects here in this are repeated in the 3 aspects in reverse of the key. The key to the soul, the key to growth, is coming towards us. He's got to give back the key, or he's got to hand the key to each of us. Each of us has to seek our key to unlock the new frequencies. So let's go into the little deck and see what that has to add. Right now, oh there. Wheel of Fortune. The second card is the 2 of Wands. And I'm being told that it's showing you that there's broken spokes. The wheel can't turn. We're in a pause. We're in a moment as this year slides towards its end where there's an immovability, because we've also got the Chariot, and of all the chariots, this chariot is about retuning the sacral, retuning the seat of your soul. The beasts that would pull this statue, this chariot, are statues. There's no movement in this. There's a review that takes place. And it is very much about retuning emotions. There's something meditative, but there's also something, it's like the light within us has to transform. This energy of Horus being inside the heart chakra, this card often comes across to me as the lower and higher heart, the pink and the green, becoming a combined energy of 3, but becoming one new. Again, it's going back to that, creating a new frequency. We're healing to create a new frequency. And it ends with, oh, it ends with 2. I didn't see that coming. It actually ends up with, I want to say, the 13 of Cups. The movement begins when Jupiter reaches Pisces, and that's on the 29th of December. And that's the wish card. This is when the shifts begin to happen. So there's something static and still, and that need to sort of pause, witness, allow, And then this 13 is taking us past the energy of 12, which we had here. The earth is kind of switching off. There's a moment when the whole, it's like the whole of the song lines, the grid, the frequency of everything around us will just dip out. And then on the 29th, it comes back online. It's been re-watered, it's been refreshed. And it begins to flow. Everything begins to flow. So let's see. What happens after the 29th then, please? Jungle, talk to me. What happens after the 29th? Again, it's Wild Woman, but it's not referring just to women. It's referring to us coming back into life almost, life returning, energy returning, but it is about this combined heart frequency, this renewed energy, this standing on your own 2 feet. There's something, it's a change that's afoot. I'm just trying to see what else the card wants to talk about. Again, there's something about it's the point at which the 29th is the point at which what's coming from the heart of the sky sort of stops. So from now until the 29th, we should be moon gazing. We should be reading the moon. We should be feeling the moon. And we should be taking the feelings from the moon and passing them through our body and down into the earth to replenish the earth around you. And this is the point at which she disconnects. She takes a hand off and this hand stops down below, and she feels that she's charged somehow in both her lower and higher heart frequencies. So let's get her some Thoth. Oh look, cosmic gift on the bottom. Okay, so cutting away the pain, cutting away what was the old energy. There's something about this is air frequency. We're in air epoch, and there's something about the Queen of Air that's so powerful, the Queen of Swords. But there's something about her. They're showing me like a kind of a Black Widow energy. So there's this idea that she's almost decapitating Osiris. Because look, when he died, she goes and she has him fixed. But there's something about this energy which is, it's really just saying the age of Isis is over. The age of Osiris is over. It's a new age. And we both of us have to depart. We have to leave now, because our staying is the restrictive pain. And it's interesting, Saturn in Libra, it's talking about how that energy at the beginning that needed to be 3 and 3 to be a balance, which next year will be 2022, it's got that 6 frequency, and each age has played a part in its achievement, but it's the pain has now understood itself and reached a balance, and it's touching the heart in the middle, so that the new age, almost like this is a sacral Gununga gap frequency, the void, bringing down a new truth. And then Thoth, just to end. Whoa. So we're returning to the scene of the moon where we started in the star card. The moon melts the confusion, and we've got Venus in Scorpio, and there's something of scorpionic energy in this moon card. I know it's Cancer, but there is something of returning light, the magic of the scarab beetle, returning the light, bringing things into balance. And then we end with two knights, which are two kings, fire and air. So next year is going to be full of fiery, passionate thoughts that will assist us in achieving this edited frequency of our newness. Because the Queen of Swords turns up to, she's like the Queen of Edits. And then it ends, and these are small, remember. The transformation, the energy of removal is bigger at the moment. These are seed energies. These are waiting to grow up. We're all waiting to grow into the new frequency of next year. So, I'm keeping the reading short because the upload speed's very slow. It'll take about 6 hours for this. But I shall do some more. I'm going to try and do a private live to see if the signal's stable enough for me to do a live, but I'm not sure what will happen. Anyway, Wassail Beautiful People. Speak to you very soon.